Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. I am your host, Brian Dorrington, here with makeshift Mukala Kabungo. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either.
But it sounds good.
The Celtics.
They always sound good. Oh, the Celtics.
Jeez,
well, before we get to the Celtics, we're going to get to go to an even bigger disappointment of a franchise in a night, and that is the Cleveland Browns in their first overall pick, and then their fourth overall pick. Oh, you got something, you said, right? You got some kind of prop.
Remember last week I said if there was a team that would screw up something so easy,
yes,
it's either the Browns or the Jets.
Yes, I agree with you.
And of course, the Browns being the Browns, they just, So I figured, I found out the reason why. Not supposed to drink on the job. They were.
Is that what they were doing?
This is what they were doing as they were in the war room. They were sitting there drinking.
These are empty people.
Yeah, these are empty. I didn't drink these, but. This is what the Cleveland Browns were doing last night. They were drinking on the job, so...
They were drinking Baker Mayfield juice. What is it?
You didn't learn from the Manziel experiment not to take a guy with so much issues.
They didn't.
A guy with drinking problems, so you take another guy who might have drinking problems and...
It's not even the fact that the off the field stuff. Yeah, I think that they need some sort of counseling there in Cleveland.
Goodness gracious,
it's becoming an issue.
Yeah, very much so.
So I think it's not only that the off field issues. It's just that universally around the league, all the professionals, everybody, all the draft guys, all the analysts said Darnold was number one. There were a few that said Allen was number one, but for the primary, it was Darnold. He's the best quarterback of the draft.
And maybe Rosen. A few had Rosen, too.
Nobody had Mayfield. So you have the league, all the professionals, the draft guys, Schefter, whoever, Mayock, everybody's saying Darnold. And then Cleveland does the exact opposite. They think they know better than everybody else, and they take Baker Mayfield first overall.
They do what
just
Cleveland
doesn't make sense
at all. They do what Cleveland does, and just this is why they're inept. This is why they're a terrible franchise. This is why they've gone through how many quarterbacks since 2018 or something like that. Just take the guy Darnold right there. He's there for you. We all have issues with him. Me personally, the issues I have with him is the turnovers, but that can be fixed. You can teach that. Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel 2.0. The off the field stuff.
Not as fast.
Not as fast. Not as tall. And then there's the off the field. The guy. They didn't learn to distance themselves from Manziel. That experiment just went terribly. Now they're going to get a guy like Mayfield, who we've seen on tape him running from the police in Fayetteville, Arkansas. What was he doing in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at the University of Arkansas? Nobody knows. He's had maturity issues, cursing out the other team.
Just recently with the Chargers, like saying, just those small little things, saying, oh, I didn't really study their playbook, I'm trying to prioritize. Just that nonchalant attitude.
Yeah, so if a guy tells you he didn't really study a team's playbook, and you haven't even been drafted yet, what's he going to do when he's drafted? Yeah. I feel bad for Tyrod Taylor, because once he starts playing bad, then people are going to be hammering for Baker Mayfield to come in, because the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy on the team. So they're going to want him to come in, and he's going to come in.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer is really our most popular guy for the Patriots.
Well, at this point, he's like the only other option.
So and we might look back on this a few years from now and say, hey, Baker Mayfield was the best at this draft. I mean, it's a possibility because nobody knows. These guys were close. I'm going to say I don't think so, but it's not even that. It's just everything pointed to Darnold. And the Browns, they might say, you know what? He was the best quarterback. But judging on what is in front of them, the information they had last night, all the tape, Darnold was number one. Darnold was number one, and they had the number one pick, and they went with, maybe they just want controversy. Maybe they just want to sell tickets. Maybe they don't want to win games.
Yeah. Probably. Maybe they just wanted, they wanted to go the opposite of what everybody was saying. Yeah. And that wasn't even the dumbest thing they did. They did another dumb thing. Oh, they did another, okay. 3 picks later.
Okay, so let's just go in order. So the Giants took Saquon Barkley,
I had that right.
You had that right. It was either going to be Barkley or Chubb. The Jets.
They got Sam Darnold.
The Jets got lucky.
They got lucky. They got very lucky.
Because they knew that's the best guy in the draft.
And I think Sam Darnold, I think he can handle the New York media. I think
he's a pretty even-keeled kid.
Even-keeled. Him and Rosen are probably the two guys I think could handle the New York media.
I think so.
So that was a solid pickup. And, Josh McCown, although he's a terrible quarterback, he'll help him. He's been around the league for a while. So.
He's not. He did okay last year, but he's an old veteran. He can teach him. He can teach him tricks.
Yeah, so that's good for his development. So the Jets, they actually, they actually did something smart for once, and maybe this will catapult them to actually being competent and playing and putting out a good product out on the field. And this is good for Todd Bowles too, because he's just. The quarterbacks he's had the past couple of years, it's just been,
it's been rough.
Yeah, so good solid pickup for the Jets. Now the Browns once again. They had
Bradley Chubb on the board.
Right there for
Probably, people were rating him, Saquon Barkley, and Nelson as the top 3 guys overall in the draft. Anywhere, they're all different ranging. Now you're at 4, and you have an opportunity for one of the top 3 guys, and you go with a guy who I like, Denzel Ward.
I just don't like him at number 4.
I don't like him at number 4. Doesn't make any sense. They could have traded back and picked him up,
number 10
or something, 11, something like that. I'm sure people were calling on the picks, seeing that Rosen is still there. But they don't even trade back. And then they just, I get it. It's a need. They need a cornerback. But Bradley Chubb, you got to go with the guy. He's right there.
Didn't they just draft an all-class defensive end last year? An athlete.
Myles Garrett. Yeah.
You get another one. You have 2. You don't even need defensive backs. You have 2 guys that get to the quarterback. That makes the defensive back's life a whole lot easier. And you go for a guy who he's going to be covering big receivers too. He's going to have to deal with Antonio Brown, the likes of Antonio Brown, A.J. Green.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck.
And if they went even Quentin Nelson, that I would have been fine with that. You know what? Okay, it makes sense. They're trying to protect their new quarterback.
Yeah.
Because for everybody says he's a franchise player, all-pro, all-star caliber player. Denzel Ward, he's a little undersized.
Very undersized. He got speed, but
he's not a number 4 pick.
That's all I'm saying is good luck to the Cleveland Browns, because if this doesn't work out, we're just gonna put this in the catalog of dumb decisions by the Cleveland Browns.
And then the Broncos really they just got the luckiest of the draft. I think
they really did. That was now you got that defense just got a whole lot better.
I don't think that they had any idea that they would have the opportunity to get Bradley Chubb.
No.
I truly think that they wanted to go quarterback. I just felt that they did. But it seems like one of those situations where they're not 100% confident in any guy, and you see Bradley Chubb just fall into your lap, arguably the best player in the draft at 5.
Yeah.
No question.
I think they might have gone with Denzel Ward if he was there. If the Browns had picked Bradley Chubb or someone else, I think they probably would have went Denzel Ward, because they lost a few cornerbacks. They lost Aqib Talib. But, hey, that defense is going to be – that defense was tough last year. It's going to be a lot better. I think they've added some pieces in free agency. So, that was a solid pick for them in the first – for their first overall pick.
Yeah, we'll see what Trevor Simeon's going to do for him. He's going to be their guy.
Isn't Case Keenum out there?
Case Keenum, yes. Case Keenum's going to be their guy.
Yeah, so other first-round notables, Quentin Nelson, solid pickup for the Colts. I said they needed to protect their quarterback. Solid pick for them. Josh Rosen fell to number 10.
Let's talk about the trade. Let's talk about the trade. Allen, actually, so the Bills traded up from Tampa to land Josh Allen, a guy who you don't like, a guy who I think has raw talent that needs to be worked on.
Who's he going to throw the ball to in Buffalo?
Yeah, well, that's true too. Sammy Watkins, Kelvin Benjamin. We'll see if he steps up. But either way, most people on the board had Josh Rosen ahead of Allen. So this is not go. This was just as shocking as some of the upsets in the March Madness bracket. There was lots of drama.
And people thought Josh Allen was going to drop because of the old tweets that came out from him in high school, and
didn't affect it.
It didn't affect him whatsoever. I still think the Bills made a mistake in drafting him. They should have went with Rosen instead. I think Rosen was probably the second best quarterback out of all the quarterbacks in this draft. And the Cardinals, they needed a quarterback, so hey, solid pickup for them. Now, as we go further into the draft, the Dolphins, they actually, they picked up Minka Fitzpatrick, which is good.
Yeah, how did Minka? A lot of players fell.
Josh Jackson wasn't even drafted in the first round.
He was somebody that I was going to bring up. He was somebody that I was going to highlight that would be a great fit for the Patriots.
Yeah,
we're talking about guys who fell, and Harold Landry fell as well. He would be another great fit for the Patriots.
Yeah, so they got a lot of day twos. Also, there's a lot of players a lot of solid players that are still on the board. Running backs as well. Darius Geis. Still on the board.
Are you surprised that the Patriots didn't go Geis for a running back?
Actually, very surprised. They went with Sony. Well, that's a good transition as we go into the Patriots' first 2 picks.
Yeah, why not?
They picked Isaiah Wynn and Sony Michel. Now, Isaiah Wynn, he was a guard in college.
Well, no, he played guard and tackle.
Oh, I thought
they turned him into a tackle.
I didn't know. I thought he was strictly guard.
But then he played guard, I think, in the Senior Bowl is what it was.
Oh, got it. So the Patriots picked up 2 players from the University of Georgia, even though they choked away the national title game. So we won't talk about that.
Well, we choked away the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I guess
it's a running theme that we're going with.
So I guess, the running theme, they choked, we choked, let's get the guys that choked. Let's all choke together.
So my only problem with Wynn is that you're right. I mean, he's guard size. He's only 6'2", under 6'3". That's for a tackle, especially if they want to put him on the left side, that's on the short end. There aren't many sub 6'3" tackles.
Yeah.
And we don't really we have good interior guards. I'm guessing they think, he does have long arms. I'm guessing they think, his athletic ability, his ability to play zone is going to, have him fill the tackle role. I'm not entirely sure, but he is definitely an athletic guy. I mean, he played for Georgia.
Yeah, solid in the running game. Sony Michel was a little. Yeah, I was really shocked with that.
I was
pick.
shocked.
I thought they would have went. Maybe they probably would have got a slot receiver or somebody else.
Harold Landry.
Yeah,
I don't know why. You got an edge guy from Boston.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Sitting there.
And Sony Michel, he had fumbling problems.
Yeah.
So that's
something Bill Belichick does not like.
Yeah. So the running depth chart for the Patriots, what do they have now is.
Brandon Bolden. The number 1.
They got Brandon Bolden. They'll pick
James White.
James White. Who they pick up from Cincinnati?
We got Rex Burkhead, and then the other guy pick up from Cincinnati. I'm drawing a blank right now.
I can't remember his name as well. But yeah, so there's going to be a hefty competition in the offseason for the running back position. But I think the Patriots might get a tackle in the second round. I believe the tackle from Texas is still available.
Yeah, I think that's who I thought that they were going to draft.
Yeah, he's still out there. There's some solid players still out there for day 2. So the Patriots, they got some picks. They need to utilize them. What were some other shockers for you in this draft?
One is Derwin James falling to 17. I don't know how that happened.
Remember I had him falling to the Patriots?
You did have a falling. You called it, but nobody else called it. Everybody else, he's a top 10 talent.
Yeah.
The Chargers, he fits in perfectly with their defensive scheme. They're another team who I'm sure was not expecting Derwin James to fall into their lap. But they got him at the 17th overall pick, which is a steal for a player of that caliber.
The Panthers, they picked up DJ Moore, the wide receiver out of Maryland, who I had.
Yeah, what did you like that?
I thought they would have went Calvin Ridley since he was still available.
Well, he went like 2 picks later, right?
Yeah, or the guy that's from SMU who's still available, Cortland Sutton, who's still available. So that was some interesting picks.
Well, I don't know what broadcast you were watching because you could watch it on a bunch of different stations, but Steve Smith, of course, the wide receiver from the Panthers, said that they couldn't replace him, meaning Carolina could not replace him until today. He's big on DJ Moore. He thinks DJ Moore is going to be a better receiver than he was.
Well, hopefully
that's big coming from Steve Smith.
Hopefully so, because Cam Newton hasn't had really receivers that he could just throw the ball to and say, go make a play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ted Ginn at one point.
Ted Ginn. Well, they had Kelvin Benjamin. They got rid of him.
Yeah,
now it's Funchess.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your guy. He finally went in the first round.
Lamar Jackson.
Very last pick of the first round.
The last days of Joe Flacco.
The last days. He's not somebody that's going to step right in.
No. But these are the last days of Joe Flacco. It's coming to an end. Maybe I give it till next year. It might be his last year as a starter in Baltimore because Lamar Jackson is coming, and I think he's gonna be a very solid pickup for that team. Good thing for him, he can sit back and learn. Just learn the game from the sidelines. They don't have to throw him in the fire right away. So, because that's the best thing for young quarterbacks is to sit and learn. And as a number 32 pick, you don't have to be thrown in no matter. Even if the starting quarterback is playing bad, they're not gonna throw you in there just because the starting quarterback's gonna be. So he's gonna have some time to learn. Maybe take the Aaron Rodgers approach. And Joe Flacco, for all the stuff I talk about him, even though I don't think he's that good, he has a Super Bowl ring. He does play well in the playoffs. So Lamar could learn some stuff from him, and he could just add on to his skill set. So that was a very solid pickup for the Ravens.
It was a solid pickup. I'm surprised that the Saints didn't go with Lamar Jackson. I mean, I was watching, and all the commentators were saying, because the Saints traded up, I don't know how many spots, but they traded up, and they gave up a 2019 first-round pick. They got up there, and everybody's like, okay, you know what? They're going to go with Lamar Jackson. There have been some rumors that he would be a good fit there. Drew Brees is going to be 39.
Yeah.
And then they went with Marcus Davenport.
I guess they felt he was the best available player at that slot.
Yeah, but did they really need to jump up that many spots?
No, they didn't, because I'm pretty sure he would have been there.
I'm pretty sure he would have been there too.
So I think some teams just overthink themselves, and but whatever.
Are you surprised the Patriots passed on Jackson?
Yes, I am surprised. I thought they would have drafted him, but I guess they wanted to get other needs, especially. Sony Michel was the shocker.
It was a very shock. I mean, I'm not sure that I hate the pick. Because it's just interesting seeing how it's not really one of our biggest needs.
Yeah,
I would rank it probably like 6th or 7th position-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, we need an edge guy, we need a cornerback, another tackle, quarterback.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I mean, we'll wrap up the draft next week because day 2 and 3 and 4. They go on until Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday, I think.
Sunday, yeah. So today's the 2nd and 3rd round. We'll see what there's a lot of good players left.
There's a lot
of good players left. So, teams need to focus in, and the Browns need to stay off that bottle. Stay off that bottle.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Goodness gracious.
Stay clean, guys.
In other Patriots news, Rob Gronkowski met with Bill Belichick this week, along with his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who I think is a sketchy man.
All agents are sketchy.
Yeah, but Drew Rosenhaus, he's the epitome of sketchy agents. There's just something about that guy. That guy's sketchy. So he said he met with the Patriots. Now, I was watching a lot, and they said the reason maybe he met with Drew Rosenhaus because maybe they possibly talked about contract extension and Gronk's future. But then Gronk reassured he's coming back for the 2018 season. He just wanted to talk to the coach and clear everything out or something. And then the funniest thing was he put the caption on and then he hashtagged it, bands and make her dance. Do you know that reference?
No, what is it?
It's about being at a gentleman's club and throwing bands in the air, $1 bills in the air.
That's what Gronk did?
That's what the hashtag That's what the hashtag
That's
means.
Gronk's hashtag?
Yeah, it's a song.
It's a song?
It's a song.
Yeah, I'm not hip on that.
Yeah, he's done that
so he
hashtag
thinks so are you suggesting he's probably going to get a new contract out of this? That was what's discussed?
Maybe so.
So if that's the case, then everything that he and his agent did leading up to this, threatening to go to action movies, threatening to go to WWE, threatening to retire, worked. And it's going to get him more money.
Yeah, I mean, pay the man. He's the best tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, he is. You got to play him like pay him like a skill player.
Yeah,
you got to pay him like an Antonio Brown or an Odell Beckham.
Yeah, because he's more productive than all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have Brady on this rundown too. What are we talking about?
We won't talk about Brady. I forgot to change that. I mean,
you put him on the rundown.
I know.
You got to say something. You got to say something.
I mean, Brady's coming back. He's working out. He hasn't congratulated Nick Foles. Nick Foles is apparently upset about that.
Is that a thing? Is that really a thing?
It was these talk shows. have interesting topics. So one of the topics
run out of
was,
topics.
is Brady a sore loser because he didn't congratulate Nick Foles on winning the Super Bowl?
Okay.
And you know what? I'm all for being a sore losers. I love sore losers.
Yeah, I mean, what would be the opposite? A happy loser?
Yeah, no.
Who wants to be a happy loser?
Yeah.
I don't want a happy loser quarterback. That's not somebody I want leading my team.
Yeah, so.
I also don't want Baker Mayfield to lead my team.
Me either, or Josh Allen. None of those.
I'd rather Josh Allen.
Not me.
I don't like quarterbacks that are too short.
Yeah, you see, that's tall people talk.
Tall people talk. I apologize.
I wasn't blessed with height.
I apologize. I won't go there.
Bruins.
Hey, there's a lot of short Bruins.
There's a lot of tough Bruins.
There's a lot of tough Bruins.
Game 7 was pretty epic.
Game 7. Game 7's always risky.
Did you?
And tough to watch.
Yeah. Did you almost go crazy?
You almost go crazy in the second period, and nobody, I think, they were seeing the highlights here. I don't think anybody thought that the Bruins were going to win this game going into the third period.
I turned the TV on. I think it was 4-2 or maybe 4-3. They were losing. It just so you know when they show the shots of the fans and they're not just all that happy.
Yeah, they're just sitting in their
so
seats.
as soon as I turned the TV, that was like the first shot I saw, just sad fans, and I'm just like, oh. And I looked at the periods. I was like, okay, let me change the channel. So I changed.
So you got off of it?
Yeah, I got off of it. I went to sleep and then woke up and they won 7-4. So
yeah, they had a monster third period. No thanks to Tuukka Rask, who was very close to being pulled.
Do you think he's going to be here back next season?
I don't see any other option. I mean, he still has, I think, 3 years left on his contract.
Well,
I mean, you could always try to trade for him.
He might demand to trade some of the.
It's a pretty heavy deal. I mean, he saved the game for game. You know, literally, he can play all world.
Yeah.
He could be a perennial Vezina conversation guy, but he's just so streaky, especially in the playoffs. And that's why this next series to the Lightning is going to come down to Tuukka Rask and the Vasilevsky, the Tampa Bay goalie. It's going to come down to goaltending because you got two pretty evenly matched teams. You were getting a whisper in your ear? We have two very evenly matched teams. We have the top line of the Bruins of Bergeron, Pasternak, and Marchand playing lights out. You have an amazing top line in Stamkos, Kucherov, and Miller in Tampa Bay. It's going to be
this Bruins Lightning matchup is going because these are arguably the two best teams in the East.
Well, I think they are. Yeah, of course.
So this is going to be and Tampa Bay. They're kind of a quick strike offense. They got weapons everywhere, and you know sometimes the Bruins. As the Bruins on the road, more so, I'd be worried about them at home because on the road they're just like zombies or something. So in Tampa Bay, they show if you're not on your A game, they will score 4 or 5 goals on you and embarrass you. So this matchup against Tampa Bay is gonna be good. This is made for TV. I think this is what. I'm hoping this is what the Boston fans wanted to see the Bruins in Tampa Bay.
Of course. This is going to be a lot of scoring, a lot of goals, because potent offense for the Lightning. Defense, a little sketchy there. But we should mention that the Bruins, they played 4 times this season. The Bruins won 3, the Lightning won 1. So the Bruins had a better regular season. They seem to be able to handle Tampa.
Hopefully it carries over. Now, others in now talk about a little about the East and the Western Conference, what's happening there, second round.
Well,
matchups.
the four best teams in the NHL are still in it, which is, like I said, Tampa, Boston, and you said, and then the Jets, and then the Predators. Okay. And I still am going to stand by my prediction that we will see the the Bruins and the Predators in the Stanley Cup Final. We're going to see the Predators versus the Golden Knights for the West. Yeah. And I'm leaning now the series that I'm a little bit that I don't really know that could go either way is the Pittsburgh-Washington series. And both of those teams scare me. Both of those teams scare me.
Can Washington finally get over the hurdle and beat Pittsburgh in the playoff series?
Well, and then can we finally get over the hurdle and beat Washington?
Yeah,
those are the questions.
Yeah, so this is good. NHL player, this is really some intriguing matchups. I can't wait for the second round. Now, NBA, we have a Game 7 tomorrow night. Celtics and Bucks.
Game 7. I mean, a lot of people are going to be watching this in the Game 7 that will have already been played.
Yeah, but the Celtics, once again, they were on the road last night and they looked pathetic. Their offense was just terrible. They couldn't make a three. They couldn't get to the basket. Turnovers. They're letting some guy named Thon Maker look like the greatest defensive player ever in basketball history.
Well, is he not?
No, he's the worst basketball player I've ever seen. He's one of the worst.
The worst?
He's one of.
You haven't played one-on-one with me. Well, apparently we're just cutting away to little puppies playing.
Yeah, the puppy was playing, but Thon Maker, yeah. I don't know. So the Celtics, they got the Bucks Game 7 tomorrow. The Celtics, they have the most home Game 7 games in NBA history.
That's an interesting stat.
They had a Game 7 last year against the Wizards in the second round.
Well, what's their record in Game 7?
28 and something.
Well,
they've won more than they lost.
They've won more than, okay, that's basically all I need to know.
I still haven't forgiven them for losing to the Hawks a couple years ago in the Game 7 at home. But if they win Game 7, they have a mighty tall task ahead of them, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, a mighty tall point guard.
A mighty tall point guard, a mighty tall center,
yes.
A guy that's just, doing everything right now. The Sixers, they ran through the Heat like nothing, so they made light work of them. Embiid is a problem. Celtics, we don't match up with either of them. With Embiid or Simmons, those two players are just, they're going to give them fits.
It's amazing to me that Philadelphia actually achieved what they wanted to do. Remember just a few years ago, they sunk the franchise.
Yeah.
They were starting guys who would never even make NBA squads to pull up all these draft picks, and the rebuilding worked.
Yeah,
I mean, look at they're arguably the best team in the East right now.
Yeah, they've been playing the best basketball since March, and they match up with everybody. They match up with the Cavaliers, they match up with the Celtics, they match up with the Raptors. They match up at every position, and they're hitting threes.
Do they match up with Houston?
Yes, they match up with Houston. Houston can't match up with them. Size-wise, Houston doesn't match up with them at all. They have nobody to guard Embiid. They definitely have nobody to guard Simmons because James Harden is 6'6", and he doesn't play defense. Chris Paul is 6 feet, and he'll be put in the post. So they have nobody on that team. Trevor Ariza, I don't think so. They don't have anybody. So Philly is going to be a tough team to beat.
Is Philly your new favorite to win it all?
I can't root for anything Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
Cleveland and Indiana, they got a tight series.
Well, I had a bold prediction and predicted that Indiana would take the series.
Well, it's 3-2 right now. Cleveland.
As of taping
the game, LeBron hit a game winner the other day. Before that, there was a goaltending that wasn't called.
Yeah, that should have been. The NBA even came back and they said that should have been goaltending.
But even before that, there was an out of bounds that was out of bounds on Indiana, but they called it out of bounds on Cleveland because it hit LeBron's elbow or something, but it had already hit the line before that. So that's just NBA officiating at its best, not knowing what they're doing.
NBA officiating is terrible. Well, they also said Al Horford should have been called for a travel a few games ago, too.
They don't call travel in the NBA. I mean, I never see.
But they actually came out and said that publicly. But yes, you're right. They never do.
Yeah. So that series is tight. I think it's going to go 7. The Cavs and Pacers, I believe it's going to go 7.
But who do you think is going to pull it out?
I want to say, I'm just going to say the Cavs because.
So we can be on opposite ends.
Yeah,
it makes things more entertaining.
And for some reason, I think something crazy is going to happen, and the refs are going to do not the refs, but something crazy is going to happen, and the Cavs are just.
Okay, so we're going to have to watch that one too.
Yeah, Raptors, Wizards. I don't really want to talk about them because
the Raptors are the best team.
They're the Raptors.
Still.
They're the Raptors. They're the baby dinosaurs. They're still a team I don't believe in. They're up 3-2 right now. Somebody got to win a road game. So if they don't win. Nobody's won a road game yet, so it's not a playoff series until someone wins a road game. And if the Raptors win this road game, they could be. That's it. Series over. But we'll see because I don't trust them.
Okay, interesting. We know that you don't like the country of Canada, so it's something about their universal health care. I think that you dislike.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Or is that prime minister, the guy?
We could talk about that another day, another time. But right now, we're going to take this break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, the Western Conference, and
Okay.
all that good stuff. So, quick break, and then we'll be back.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
We back.
So it was coming back to me, no?
I thought so too, but I think somebody's messing with us back there or something.
Yeah, they're messing with us. Just throwing little animal PSAs, trying to get us off our game. Let's see what they're going to be up to next.
We're on point with our game, no matter what. So we're talking NBA playoffs, the Western Conference. We have
Pelicans versus Warriors.
and it was coming back to me though.
Oh, it was.
It says it on
Oh,
the
it does
rundown.
there? Okay,
Yeah,
so they were correct. Did you hear it in his ear?
No,
You get it
I'm
in the
looking
ear?
at the rundown.
Okay, cool.
So you don't look at your rundown.
No, not
At least
really.
Dave looks at the rundown.
Yeah, I don't look at it.
Dave,
Let's
just blame
improvise this whole
Brian
thing.
doesn't look at his
Let's
rundown.
improvise this whole thing.
The Pelicans and Warriors, this is going to be an interesting series. I think this is going to go to most 6 games because I just think the Warriors are overall better team. But Anthony Davis, he's just
You love playoff Rondo.
playoff Rondo. He's been on another level. Rondo's the epitome of a point guard. He doesn't score, but he gets everybody involved, and he knows how to get the ball to the best player. And he's been getting the ball to Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday. Those two, they had 41. They each had 40 points the closing game against
Yeah, that's just crazy.
against the Blazers. So this is going to be a matchup.
There he is right now. Oh, that was a dirty pass.
Yeah.
The behind the back one,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, so Rondo is going to have, he's going to control the pace of this game. Both of these teams, they like to get up and down the court. They both have athletes all over the floor. And it's going to come down to the best players making big plays. And I just think Kevin Durant might make a little more big plays than Anthony Davis might. And also Steph Curry is going to come back at some point in the series, I think, later on. He won't be the same player.
I just wanted to look. I just Googled it right now. Right now, he's officially questionable for Game 1.
So he won't be. I think he'll play maybe like Game 4, 5.
Really? And what
Yeah.
if they go down 2? What if they're down? What if they go down 2?
He won't play.
I think they got to bring Curry in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, if they go down 2-0, but that's not going to happen. They're not going down 2-0.
Okay, we'll just see.
So it's look for Game 4 or 5 is just around that way. I think that's going to happen. And Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, they both had a solid series the last one. Now this series, Klay Thompson has a size matchup over.
Yeah, what's
over
Klay
New
Thompson?
Orleans.
He's like 6'7", right?
Yeah, he's like
6'8"?
6'7". Drew Holiday's like 6'3" or something, and Rondo's 6 feet. So the size advantage is clearly in the backcourt is in the favor of the Warriors. So I believe that they'll just eventually wear the Pelicans down. But this is going to be a tough series. But
How do they stop Anthony Davis?
You can't stop him.
Yeah,
You can't stop
that's
him.
going to be the one thing.
Yeah, you just have to stop
Who are they
everyone
gonna put on
around
him?
Durant.
Yeah.
Durant. They have to put Durant on him. He's got the length to give him problems. He don't have
He's
the
not
size.
strong
Yeah,
enough.
he's not strong, but he got the length to keep up with him.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep Anthony Davis in check.
Yeah, because as so far since the All-Star break, nobody's been able to keep him in check. So this is going to be quite the series. Now the Rockets advanced. They're waiting for the OKC Utah winner, but the Rockets they made 5 games with the T-Wolves, which I didn't. The T-Wolves they're just sad. They don't play defense.
Ever since Kevin Garnett left, it's pretty much been a dead franchise.
Yeah, they let the Rockets score 50 points in the third quarter in one game. So that just lets you know what their interest in defense is, and it's been terrible. It was the matchup didn't work for the T-Wolves. They just didn't have it going. Their best players weren't showing up. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, I think he had one good game. That was about it, and the rest of the games he was just he
I
was
mean,
just
nobody
another
gave them
guy.
a chance anyway, though.
Nobody
I mean,
did.
it's one of those thanks for coming. You know,
Yeah.
you made it to the playoffs.
But,
Hoo,
but when you're
hooray.
Karl Anthony Towns, you're all-star, and people are considering you to be next in line to be one of the best players in the league. You got to do something in the playoffs. You just can't be,
One of the best players in the league. Is his ceiling that high? I'm not so sure about that.
People
right.
have his ceiling that high.
All right, we'll see.
But from what I saw in this series, he's just, the bright lights got under him, got to him. I mean, I should have seen it coming. It happened in Kentucky too, and they had that undefeated record, and then they choked it.
The undefeated regular season.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
they almost, they were in the Final Four, and they could have had a chance to make that undefeated run, but they choked away. They choked.
Pressure.
Yeah, the pressure
It
got
just
to
gets
them,
to some guys.
and it got to them here.
So let's talk Oklahoma City Thunder, Utah Jazz.
I told you this was going to be a very interesting
I told
series.
you. I told you that if there's one team that could come out of nowhere, it's the Thunder.
Well,
It's because of
I have
who
no
they have in the
faith
team.
in the Thunder.
I'm not saying
That's
I have faith in them. I'm
This
just
the-
saying if there's a team who could do it,
They're consistently
talent-wise.
inconsistent.
Sure, but they
as-
got all the talent in the world is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but they still don't have, Carmelo Anthony basically didn't play in the fourth quarter of the last game. He was on the bench.
Yeah, but you got Paul George and Russell Westbrook. I mean, those are two all-world players.
Yeah, they were down 25 at one point in that game, but then they were able to come back. But they have for some reason, the Jazz have their number matchup-wise. They can't match up with them. Steven Adams, he's been giving nothing in this series. Joe Ingles, the Australian, has been giving the Thunder a headache. He's been hitting wide open threes. He's been talking trash. There's a lot of physicality going on. This is just...
It's fun. That's what basketball should be.
Yeah.
Get the trash talking and some
Everybody
hard
wants to
fouls.
fight.
Keep that in.
Everybody
Keep
wants
that
to
in.
fight Ricky Rubio for some reason.
People are always picking on Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, I think it's
Poor
because
little
he's
guy.
from Spain or something.
Probably.
I think so.
Argentina or Spain?
No, he's from Spain.
It is from Spain, yeah.
Yeah, they've been picking on him, but this series. So the Thunder are down 3-2 right now. So it's a closeout game tonight for Utah. They're at home. If they don't win this, then they're losing the series. If they don't win this game at home, Thunder are going to win the series because you can't be up 3-1 and blow the lead, and especially when you have the closeout game at home, you got to be able to handle that.
So who you predicting in the next round? Is it going to be Oklahoma?
My senses are telling me that somehow Utah is going to choke this thing away.
Utah's going to choke it away?
Yeah, and
okay.
I think it's going to be OKC and Houston in the next round, which is going to be another
That'd be an interesting matchup,
very,
for
very
sure.
interesting series because the Thunder, they play up to their competition and they play down to their competition.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see
They can see the
them at their
best of the Thunder.
Yeah, because right now I don't know. I got nothing to say about them.
Well, we do have an athlete's corner coming up.
Yeah, yes we do.
See, I do read the rundown occasionally. I glanced at it this time, and it says athlete's corner.
And who does it come back to after the athlete's corner?
Mukala.
I think-
Yes, it comes back to Mukala. No, it comes back to me after the athlete's
I
corner.
think Brian's been hitting this bottle too.
No, I haven't. It's just sometimes it's hard to read. Come on, it's a Friday. Give me a break. It's been a long week here.
All right, you guys check out this athlete's corner with Tony Gallo.
Is it?
All right, welcome to another edition of Athlete's Corners. If you're watching, I know y'all saying I got the same shirt on, but these are pre-recorded, so we did 2 interviews in one day. Today I got a guy, me and him go way back. This is my man, Tony Gallo, Lynn Tech, 1,000-Point Club, Coppin State. Now he's playing professionally. He's also a player developer, developing the youth, and he's just doing a whole lot of stuff. So welcome, Tony. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
No problem, man. What you been up to?
Just staying busy, man.
Good.
Staying busy. It's always a grind with me. I have my program going on.
Yeah.
Just finished up playing semi-pro.
Okay.
Just got back from the All-Star game at Pittsburgh. So just staying busy.
Tell me a little about your program. Tell me how you got started with that.
Definitely. So I have a program. It's called Tony Gallo Athletics, TGA, which is on the shirt. And basically, we're a player development program. We start with kids early as age of 2. We go up to kids that are 17, 18, seniors in high school, even some kids that go to prep school. Okay. So I have training in Salem at Salem Academy. I train in Newburyport, which I have a camp all week this week, and I have a gym in Malden as well. So just giving back to the kids, giving them a place to come pretty much every day. I'm in the gym every day in different locations, and just trying to give kids that outlet that I didn't have all the time growing up. And I think it's benefiting a lot of the kids.
Now with that, you also been helping a lot of some of the Division I players as well?
Definitely, yeah. I trained a few kids at Northeastern, a couple kids at BU, some kids from all over the country that I've known. I've done some stuff with a few NBA guys in the past, so I'm just trying to build on it. I love what I do. I love teaching. I love the game of sports. I have 2 little girls, which keeps me home. I have a lot of offers to go back to Europe and China and whatnot, but I also have a lot of responsibility for the kids that I train and my family here. So that's what keeps me kind of here and doing what I do.
Just tell me a little bit about the training, some of the stuff that you would normally do with the kids that are just developing and some of the older kids who are a little more developed but got room for improvement.
Definitely. So my workouts are usually all together. I do a modified workout where it's age appropriate, skill set appropriate. Meaning if I have a kid that's 7 years old in the gym, he's going to do something different than I have a kid that's 17. So I'm going to modify the workouts, whether it's giving them more reps, whether it's giving them something a little different. But I'm a big believer that as long as you put in the work and the workout's right for you, you can get it done. So in that aspect, we do that. We definitely have different ranges of kids. I have kids that are going Division I for sure. I have some other kids that just want to do it for fun. I feel sports is a way to develop just characteristics in life. I mean, everything I've learned has came from basketball and football. So just trying to give that back and let them know that whatever you want to do, you can put your mind to, but there's no shortcuts. It takes hard work. And that's why I have the gym available every day.
Now, do some of these players know about your basketball history, or do they inquire? Are they curious and stuff?
Right. So some of them do, and you can see the respect level from those that know where you've been. Me personally, I wouldn't listen to anybody that hasn't done it. I mean, you don't go to a mechanic to fix a floor, right? You go to someone that's been there. So when I actually tell the kids and they go on my YouTube, I have 20 plus videos of YouTube of myself playing. You can Google me. I have a lot of stuff. So when kids actually do a little digging, you can see that when I teach them something, they're a little more attentive and want to learn, coming from a guy that played against NBA guys, as opposed to just coming from somebody that might not have done it. It's not as relatable. And I think sports and anything you have to relate to the people you're trying to teach.
Very true. Speak on that. You did play against some guys who went high in the draft some years ago.
Definitely.
I mean, Kemba Walker, some of the players from Kentucky. Just how was that, being a kid from Lynn and you're on this stage and you're playing against guys that eventually ended up being in the league?
Definitely. Well, it was amazing. First of all, it was an experience that not too many people get to have. I mean, I was at a mid-major school, Coppin State University. It's a HBCU. It's down in Baltimore, but we played against Kentucky. We played against Wisconsin. So going against those guys, for me personally, it really wasn't anything different. I grew up playing in Lynn, grew up playing in Boston, playing against NBA guys at a young age. So felt like it was basketball. I didn't put the extra pressure on myself. At the end of the day, I knew at a young age that this was just a game. And it's just a game. I mean, at that level, it's a business, but for me personally, the way I looked at it, it was a game. So I never had any pressure on missing a shot, because I know I practiced it. I knew I could make shots. So the person in front of me didn't really bother me. It was more myself. And that's what I try to relay to these kids. Don't worry about who's playing defense or who's across. It's about what you do and the repetitions you put in.
Can you speak a little about Lynn basketball? I know you know the history of Lynn basketball. You played at Lynn Tech, part of the 1,000-point club. You guys had some great years when you were there.
Definitely.
And from now, Lynn basketball has been kind of coming back on the rise with the teams, especially this past basketball season. Can you speak a little about just being a Lynn basketball player?
Definitely. So when I played, I had a lot of people to look up to. Corey Bingham was on the team, played at Toledo. Antonio Anderson did it at Memphis, went to the league. We had a lot of guys, Dwight Brewington, a lot of guys not just from Tech, but from every school in Lynn. People don't understand how talented Lynn is. We have we're not a huge place, but we produce Division I talent from every sport. So seeing that is big. But I just continue to learn. I mean, in these kids, they have to continue to learn. That's something that I think the kids lack. A lot of kids, they know it all now. And I blame it on the social media and all that stuff. They can go and find anything they want within 30 seconds, where we needed to find something out, we had to go find somebody that knew it. We couldn't just pick up a phone. So in that aspect, knowing the history is huge. I studied it. I played for 8 hours a day. A lot of these kids don't do that. They have better things to do. The prep school aspect is hurting some of the public school basketball. A lot of the best players from Lynn are going to private schools and prep schools, which is good. If that helps them go to college, I'm with it. But it kind of hurts our city in a way, how it hurts our teams. But again, Lynn has so much talent. We just need to have the people around to bring it out. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I know a few other people that I played with are doing the same thing, which is great to see. Yeah,
awesome. And a little bit about your Tony Gallo Athletics. If people want to, get involved or get in contact, where can they go?
So my website is tonygallo.com. All the information's on there, the scheduling, the pricing, all that stuff. My website it's updated pretty much every day. So you can find something new every day. My Instagram is Tone, T-O-N-E, Touch 15. I post everything on there. You can also look me up on Facebook at Tony Gallo. But everything's on there. Everything I do, I try to put up there. But it's about developing the kids. That's what it comes down to. Giving the kids an outlet to go somewhere and not worry about the price. I do stuff for discounted rates for kids that need it. I couldn't afford it, so that's huge for me, giving back to my community. I'm on the verge of finding a gym in Lynn to make it a little more convenient. I'm in Salem, but I know the transportation part is tough to get from even Lynn to Salem.
Especially with the bus, you can't rely on the bus.
You can't rely on it. Parents are working, so it's tough. So trying to be in different areas to make it convenient for everybody. Yeah,
awesome. And then, and lastly, what do you got? I know you got the camp going on this week for vacation, and then you got the summer camps coming up and stuff like that. What else you got going on?
So right now, again, it's every day. I have training in Salem on tonight at 7, but pretty much Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday I'm in Salem. I'm in Marblehead with North Shore Sports Academy. I coach with them. I train their kids. We have a program going on. Kids can come drop into that on Thursdays at the Y. I'm in Malden starting up on Tuesdays in mid-April, or April 24th, so late April. So all the information's on the website. Summer will be in Lynn. We'll have summer camps all year round, different locations as well. And then we'll have AAU teams. We travel. Again, we're going to New York this weekend. Teams go to Connecticut. Some of our top teams will go to Vegas, Florida. So it's there. We have it here. The outlet's here. Definitely reach out, and we would love to take care of anyone that wants to get better. You don't have to go to the NBA, but you want to improve. That's what we look to see.
Definitely. So definitely get in contact with him if you want your child, to develop. If you want to develop yourself, definitely get in contact with Tony. But thanks for coming.
Thank you.
If you guys put on any events and stuff, just let us know. We'll be there to support you guys.
Will do.
All right, you guys been watching Athletes Corner. I'll toss it back to Brian.
Oh no, we are leaving that. Mukala did a great job adding the pictures in for that segment. They look really good, and he wants to go back and edit it. Oh no, we're keeping that in there. Sorry, Mukala. Yes, we are. That's staying in there. Okay, so we just got some breaking news, and we found out we had some extra time. So the Patriots just traded their 5th round pick for offensive lineman Trent Brown to the 49ers. He's a right tackle. And the last report was that he showed up to the 49ers camp terribly out of shape. What are we doing with all these offensive linemen?
Oh my gosh!
And he's a right tackle. Nate Solder played left tackle. We have a lot of right tackles, not many left tackles. Who's going to play the right side?
I guess they're trying to replace Solder or something, but this is another interesting move.
I don't know who Trent Brown is.
Me either.
But and that's probably saying something. But he just seems like an average in a fifth round pick. It's actually an early 5th round, I believe. It's the 95th overall pick. For a guy like Trent Brown, it's kind of confusing what they're doing with all these offensive linemen.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to go offensive line by committee or something this upcoming season. But this is, well,
I trust Dante Scarnecchia. He's one of the best offensive line coaches there is.
Unless he retires in the middle of the season.
It's quite possible. I know he didn't make this decision. This must have come from Bill Belichick, Is this another one of those Coney Ely, Cassius Marsh type deals? I think, yeah. He's had a lot of questionable draft pick trades for players that did not turn out.
So in other words, he won't be there by the time August rolls around.
No, I don't think so. Or maybe he'll be there, but definitely not in November.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. After the bye week, he's gone. Yeah. Okay, so you wanted to talk about, I'm looking at my rundown now. I'm starting to do it.
Look at that.
And I'm seeing you want to talk about the one and done rule change that NBA and NCAA are going for.
That they're trying to make. They have a commission that, they're trying to put an end to this one and done because one and done apparently is hurting college.
It's a nice graphic.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice graphic right there.
Apparently one and done is hurting college basketball, allegedly. But they should have never changed that rule in the first created that rule that you have to be out of high school for a year.
I like the rule.
I never liked it. if you're gonna, just give them the option. If they're good enough to go, let them go. If they're not, just let them go to college. Or just I've been saying this for the longest time. Just do what baseball does. Have the minor league, which is the G League, which they're trying to work together with that. So that if they don't want to go to college, they'll able to go to the G League or attempt to go to the G League, work their way up, make some money while they're at it. I think that's the perfect fit. But when you force them to go to college, or some players had a bright idea of going overseas, they got paid for it, but they didn't like the experience because they treat Americans differently overseas while playing club basketball. So this one and done rule that they're proposing, hopefully it's beneficial to the students.
The way that I'm reading it is it's the NBA trying to bolster up their, the G League or the D League that they're calling it?
G League.
So they want to take in high school players that might be NBA ready to that G League and not bring them into the NBA right away, but work them into the NBA system. Mm-hmm. I'm confused on whether they would be drafted in. Would they just be draft eligible, or would they be? How do they get there? That's something that I was not clear on how that's going to work.
I would assume they'd probably invite them to camp or something. That's my opinion. Or they have a G League draft.
A G League draft,
maybe so.
Or because they're like minor league franchises for teams.
Yeah.
Like, can they go in and just sign any of these players without having to draft them? What happens during the draft?
I have no idea.
I don't think that's thought out.
Yeah, they need to make this
it might be. I just haven't seen anything that I've read about it.
I think they're still working on it, but they need to make it more clear what they're actually going to do with this whole thing.
But it gets rid of it lowers the product for the NCAA college basketball. Because the best players, you want to see the best players play in college.
Yeah.
At least once. There's the whole... Think about Kentucky and Kansas and the camaraderie in those places, and Duke and Villanova now. It's just an experience, the college experience. It's great to have the college game. Would you ever want to see college football do something like this?
Oh, heavens no.
Oh, heavens no. No, not at all. Because we love seeing these top guys in college play.
Yeah.
I love, watch them grow. Nobody's going to watch these G League guys.
And plus, I think some of these players are just realizing how much they're being taken advantage of, because everybody's making money off them and they can't make any money.
Right,
no
that's a different discussion.
So,
although maybe it's not a different discussion. Maybe
it's part of this whole big problem.
Maybe. I'm a big proponent of paying the players, giving them 100% free education, and then
give them their money.
Give them their money. Like $30,000 a year. Why not?
30, 50, 60,
whatever it
100.
is. These college professors are getting rich, and these presidents, they're making millions of dollars.
Sometimes they don't teach nothing in college.
Sometimes, it depends.
Depends what
some of the adjunct faculty, we won't go there. But the colleges are swimming in money, and they're making money off these kids. It's not just the colleges; it's the NCAA that's making money off these kids.
And we're getting the wrap-up sign.
Oh, we're getting the wrap-up sign. I thought we had extra time this week.
We're getting the wrap-up sign. I guess we've rambled long enough. So
that's fine.
I'm going to ramble like a little more. Just, don't get mad at me. So remember how last week I said I'm excited for Kanye West's album?
Yeah.
That all changed.
That all changed? I think it's a big performance art piece.
Within like 30 minutes. He goes,
so you're not going to listen to the album?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Because this guy's, he's just out of control.
I don't think
he
he's serious.
needs to stop on that stuff. But
Seems like he's not serious. It's a performance art piece.
Yeah, so he goes on a publicity stunt, a tweet storm talking about, you know, he loves the president. Then he says he loves how this person, Candace Owens, thinks. I don't know who she was. Then I Googled who Candace Owens was.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I just Googled her, just the ultimate right-wing African-American person. And her thoughts are just interesting.
I'm gonna keep politics out of this, but I do think it's an interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to have dinner with both of them.
Yeah.
It would be very entertaining just to see what they talk about.
But yeah,
I don't think that they would listen to anything I say, but they would be a very fun party to have them both.
What got me is he went on to say Obama didn't do anything for African Americans for 8 years. Like, Kanye, what did you do for African Americans within the last 8 years, 10 years? Nothing. Obama he started an organization to help young African American men, you know, to actually prosper. It was called My Brother's Keepers for the Obama organization. We never heard of Kanye West doing anything like that, have we? No. Okay, so Kanye, stop it, please.
Go, Kanye. If he's listening, Kanye, if you're listening,
stop it.
Mukala's asking you to stop it.
Stop it.
Okay.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Sorry we rambled too long, but, you know, we're just having fun here. You guys been watching After the Whistle. Check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Lynn Community Television. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lynn Community Television. Check out the video we just posted yesterday with Kyrie Todd. It's a good one. Check it out, post it, share it. We'll see you guys next week. I'm out of here. Bye.